Hey, what's up C3 Youth? I'm Timwani. So awesome that you're here. This week on Youth Online, we have Minibus Mayhem, worship, and a start of a conversation on the topic of racism by some of our youth family. So ready to get into it this week. So let's get ready to learn. Let's go.
Afternoon, Rick. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. So
welcome to.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to what?
Minibus Mayhem.
Minibus Mayhem.
Week 2.
Week 2. Wonder what's today?
Well, yeah, I wonder what's today.
It's
been an interesting week or two. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the news. I know that the guys are going to talk about that later in this episode.
Yeah, the Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, so stick around because there's going to be some really great chats from some of our youth later on.
Yeah.
It's been like pretty dominated this week.
Exactly, man. It's been all over.
Oh man, such a relevant, like such a big thing.
Sad what happened, yeah. But glad people are speaking out about it as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
What else has been going on with you?
Oh man, just glued on TV as well. Just seeing.
Glued.
Glued on TV. Haven't had much work going on, but then still following some of my tips from last week.
Yeah.
Staying
Brushing
active, brushing my teeth, staying active.
Yeah.
Smiling, trying to keep positive as well.
Yeah.
I missed everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So,
I think we missed a tip from last week, which was read your Bible a lot. Because that's what's going to keep you alive.
Exactly.
I think we missed that one.
That's where all the hope is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought people would get the clue. That goes on well with the cable.
That's
stay
the
connected.
USB cable. Yeah. Stay connected. Yeah, keep reading.
Stay connected to the word. Yeah. Let that be your direction. We don't have a sat nav now, but then
let's drive. Let's go somewhere. Yeah, great tip actually. So lockdown is a great time to learn new skills. Go and learn how to make your favorite burgers.
And you said you've been baking a lot, Rick.
I've been making so much bread, man. It's amazing. It's so good. And burger suggestion: chicken burger with pineapple and hot sauce, like Nando style hot sauce.
Yeah.
Dude.
What's that called?
Man.
Hawaiian burger.
Maybe Hawaiian burger. Oh, you can put bacon on it as well. That's always a good idea.
Yeah.
I know the GoPro hasn't fallen off yet.
Nah.
We've done some industrial taping. We've done some fancy taping to make this thing stick.
You said brown tape never works.
Tape always
there
works.
we go.
So we've got a few minutes left. I think the guys are going to have to do some fancy video editing already to cut out all the bad bits.
Bad bits?
All the bad bits? What? Who said that?
Nah. Leave about bad bits, man.
So, shall I find something to preach about?
Yeah.
Let's hear some.
I think it's my turn this time. I need to find you an object. I need to find you an object, Rick. And I think I found you an object.
You found me an object?
Yeah.
I found objects.
I don't know where this belongs to, but then I've got a high-vis here.
High-vis jacket.
High-vis jacket.
This one's easy. How is the church like a high-vis jacket? Are you wearing your Christian high-vis jacket? Are you being that city on a hill?
Like that.
I think that as Christians we should be always wearing high-vis jackets because we've got good news to tell people.
Yeah.
It should be it should be obvious when it should be something that's just part of who we are, the way we dress, not actually the clothes we wear. The way we dress, we should be putting on.
Exactly.
We should be wearing Christ.
Exactly.
I think that when we do that, it's super high vis, these reflective stripes and super bright material.
It's bright, man. I feel like I need sunglasses, man. Yeah.
And the thing about reflective material is that it takes light and it reflects it onto other people and other things. And I think that when you start reflecting God's goodness and God's grace in your life, when you start reflecting all these good things into other people's lives, that's super cool, right?
That's great. Super wisdom.
So that's an easy one. I'm sure that's random preaching 101.
Yeah, I like what you said as well. Just about it's basically just being the salt and light. It's
sitting on a hill.
Whenever someone's wearing a high vis, you can see them from wherever. They're visible. So how are we being visible in other people's lives?
That's it. The Bible talks about having a light, but covering it up and saying don't do that, right? Uncover the light, make it visible, right?
Exactly.
You don't have a candle and then cover it.
Exactly, it's just like the story of the parable.
Yeah, totally. So, we've all got high-vis jackets. We've all got metaphorical high-vis jackets.
And we've all got that light shining in us.
That's it. That's it. And
just
I think
each day. Yeah.
it's a choice to put on that jacket and to wear it, right?
Yeah. And we should wear it all the time. Yeah?
We should wear it all the time.
All the time.
We should. And it can get hard. It can get hard if you forget about. If you don't put on your high-vis jacket, then actually it might make it easier for you to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It might make it easier for people not to see you and then injure you. Or that was close, dude. That was a.
Yeah. When I was being caught in your story there, and I'm
if
like,
that was a green light, that was a very dark green. Very dark green.
true, man.
Tips.
Lockdown
Lockdown
tips.
tips. Get lots of exercise.
Keep hydrated,
Yeah.
especially in this.
Keep hydrated.
Yeah, in this
Lockdown
warm
tip.
temperatures.
Keep hydrated.
Yeah.
Learn new skills.
Learn new skills. Yeah. What skills are you learning this week, Rick? Or should we start that again?
Find new ways of connecting with your friends, because your friends are really important.
Yeah.
So find new ways of connecting with your friends. New ways of socializing. Hashtag lockdown socializing.
Just get this right. Sorry.
I have to get back.
Yeah. Dude, what's the time?
I'll pass.
Oh, yeah, that's right. At least I'll be around for my meeting for 2 o'clock.
Peace like a river wash over me. Immerse me in water as deep as the sea. Hide me in love, your healing embrace. Peace like a river wash over me. As I worship your majesty, I worship your holy name. Jesus, my everything. All that I am is yours. Come, Holy Spirit, rain down on me. Break open the heavens and drench the unseen. Pour out your presence as I pour out your praise. Come, Holy Spirit, Lord, have your way. As I worship your majesty, I worship your holy name. Jesus, my everything. All that I am is yours. I worship your majesty. I worship your holy name. Jesus, my everything. All that I am is yours. Open the heavens, fling wide the gates, flood every heart with mercy. Pour out your presence, inhabit our praise as we cry, holy, holy. Open the heavens, fling wide the gates, flood every heart with mercy. Pour out your presence, inhabit our praise as we cry, holy, holy. Oh. Oh, revival. Lord, send it now. Move your spirit, heaven break out. Come now in power, cover this land like you done it before. Would you do it again? Lord, send revival. Lord, send it now. Move your spirit, heaven break out. Come now in power, cover this land like you done it before. Would you do it again? Heaven break out. Heaven break out. Heaven break out. Heaven break out. Lord, send revival. Lord, send it now. Move your spirit, heaven break out. Come now in power, cover this land like you done it before. Would you do it again? This week, myself and some young people jumped onto Zoom and started a conversation about racism. Racism, it's evil, it's dark, it shouldn't exist on this earth, but the truth is it does. And that's why we need to talk about it. We need to listen and learn, so as humanity we can move forward. We want to stand with our black brothers and sisters, help their voice be known. So listen up to the conversation, and I hope it speaks to you. Hey guys, hey C3 Youth. So good to have you here listening into a conversation about racism. I'm sure you've seen the stuff's happening in America, but this is not an American thing, it's a global thing. It's a global issue. And my heart, it's really hit my heart. And I fully believe that as humanity, we need to start talking, listening and learning, not just humanity, but as young people, we need to listen and learn. One day he's disappeared, but that's totally fine. Because this is live. This is young people coming together. Some of the young people from my Incredible Youth family coming together and just sharing maybe some experiences that they've had with racism. And we want to get out in the open. We want to be able to say to young people, hey, let's chat, let's talk, and learn and listen, and ultimately so we can act better in fighting racism, which is evil, which is not right. So we're gonna kick off with Dami. Now I've known Dami from 3 years now, probably. And he's a great guy, musically amazing. If you've seen some of his freestyles recently, tune into him. But Dami, why don't you just kind of share for us maybe some experience of racism, and go for it.
Yeah, so I've experienced racism in like secondary school, but like nothing major, but racism is racism, but like it will be more low key and more hidden, which is probably worse. I can't lie.
Yeah.
It'll just be like the little things, like just what jokes about water or what not being able to buy certain things, like the stereotypes that you're given as a young black boy or as a young black girl in a school. Or it will be like when we're in a history lesson and then the teacher starts talking about slavery and then everyone looks back at you or something like that. So I've experienced like subtle things, and I think that from what's happened, like George Floyd related and stuff like that, I feel like it's mandatory that everybody, not just black people, but everybody starts speaking out.
I think sometimes people find it hard to realize it, don't they? Because they've lived it their whole life. Even if the life is like only 15 years, that's a whole 15 years of what they thought is right. And actually, what you're saying, Dan, is great, because actually we need to help people understand so that we can have these conversations. Because as humans, we need to have conversations that are hard, but that's when grace comes in. That's when we say, hey, God, we're in this conversation right now, And we believe right now that you're going to speak through us, and you're going to help us come to a solution, help us to learn and to listen to each other, even if sometimes it's a bit tensiony, and that's what we need. We need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Temwani, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think I've been privileged that I haven't had outright acts of like blatant racism against me. That it hasn't affected me so much. But it's like the hidden things, like people's attitudes towards you. Because I was the only black girl in my year for like 7, 8 years, and it's how people like were treating me, because they like hadn't seen someone like me before. So their attitudes towards me and their behavior towards me might have been different, and that goes for like pupils, girls in my school, or staff as well. But what I'm thinking is, what if I hadn't been there? What if I hadn't gone to school there? It's crazy to think that there would be a place for 7 years where someone won't have contact or experience with a black person. And that is where racism can start, because ultimately starts within yourself, or within one person. And if a small community like that and a group like that won't have experience with black people and experience with racism, it can make it a bit harder for a time like right now to educate them, because they haven't seen that before. So I think right now it's a time to learn and a time to speak out, because posting stuff on social media is spreading awareness, which in turn helps people that maybe wouldn't have that experience to learn and to be educated.
Yeah, well, that's powerful, Timmy. That is powerful, and I love that. Just your revelation of that. Actually, what if I wasn't there? What would that school be like? Yeah, totally. Wanye, what about yourself?
Yeah. I haven't really had anyone, to be fair, pull up on me and like be racist towards me. But I've had like obviously like the Cambridge, I call it like the Cambridge sort of racism, right? So like in our area in Cambridge, it's like it's really light, and the key thing people do is to cover it up and say it's banter. But more time, because we don't react or we don't get angry, because we don't want to give up a certain vibe, they will say, "Oh, they're cool with it. It's just banter. He's not saying anything." So I've experienced that a lot of sly racism, a lot of stereotypes, like a lot of stereotype. Sort of like, obviously, you know, I love rap music. When you into like culture, it rubs off on you. You don't realize it. And people like, "Oh, yo, what's popping?" Like people I'd never met before. I'm like, how do you know I know what you mean? Like, how you know I know what you mean? Like, I could be.
It's like me trying to be cool.
I could be the prime minister's son. Nah, you straight. You cool. But yeah, I haven't had any issues with the police, but I've been stopped before outside my house on the way to campaign for Labour, actually. And really? Like, yeah, literally it was time ago. I remember I was so angry, so I must have come out my house, and then like literally around the corner, so 4 of these guys jumped out. It was an unmarked car, unmarked. So 4 of them popped out on me, and I was like, like, where are you going, sort of thing. I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm just gonna go campaign. So like, what? Like, campaign. I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh no, okay. He's like, where do you live? I said, I live right there. He said, where'd you go to college? I was like, it's kind of like an interview. I was like, Long Road. And he said, okay, they were just stopping people like you around the area for like, because of crime. There were some people like you because of crime in the area. And I was like, whoa. I was like, wait, people like me. I said, I'm on my way to campaign for Labour. I don't know if you understand that. Like, I'm on my way to like I'm fighting against austerity, cuts to the police, right? I'm fighting against cuts to the police. So I want to get them more funding. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know how bad that is? So I want to go and I want to help them, and they're stopping me because they think I'm a criminal. So I told them this. They just
because of the color of your skin.
Yeah. So then I was like, then they kind of laughed it off and said like, oh, are you like just a Corbin? Yeah, I was like, nah, bro, it ain't been funny. And I said, what do you mean by people like me? And then they just got in the car and was laughing. I was like, say less. That's where we live. Racism is a big thing in our county in Cambridgeshire. Because remember, East Anglia, we're low key, we're kind of rural. Do you know what I mean? There's not a lot of black people here. So racism, especially with the older generation or the boomers, is still present. And you can tell, like, even if it's just looks or certain areas, if you got a certain time, you still get looks. Like, I really thought I was becoming paranoid, but I realized, like, I don't know if you realized, you guys, even Dammy's really realized. Dammy, when was the last time you saw me in a full tracksuit?
And this guy's got drip for days as well. I can't actually remember.
I've stopped wearing full tracksuits. I don't like it. I love tracksuits. They're wavy. I wear them sometimes, but I stop because I don't like the image it gives me. Because if I'm wearing a tracksuit, people automatically think I'm a roadman. So now that's when you see me in jeans or cargos all the time because I don't like being judged. I can't stand it. So you probably see me in a tracksuit, but I've cut it down completely. I'm rarely in them now because I just don't like how I dress a certain way and people think because of the color of my skin and the way I dress that I'm a certain person. But yeah, other than that, nah.
That's powerful stuff. That's powerful. That the fact that what you wear determines how people react.
Yeah.
Even chains, like I barely wear it. When I go to meetings, I don't wear the second chain. Or if I go to an area where I'm trying to when I go to Parliament, I don't wear the second chain. I take it off.
Man, Wanya, thank you for sharing that. That's powerful stuff. And we're gonna go to Kayla now. Go on, Kayla.
Oh, well, I think first of all, just going off Wanya's point about what you wear, I've never had to think about what I wear. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just wear what I want, and I don't think about that. Or I go out and I don't think, I'm not worried about police or any of the sort of experiences that you guys have had, and I haven't had any like racism towards me. And I know as we spoke about at school, secondary school, there was racism, like it's everywhere. But we had quite a few black people in our school, and there was racism. Again, it was like banter, but you know, it's just dreadful that that's still happening, like in our school, and obviously, like those people are not educated to not do that. And I was actually like listening to a podcast this morning on about racism, and this man was telling a story about him and his sister, and he said to his sister, you know, we're Mexican, and then she started crying because she didn't want to be Mexican, and like how they thought about themselves because of the color of their skin. Like, it just breaks my heart, like, that you feel like that. It makes me so upset. But I think with the awareness and people sharing things, like, even I've become so much more aware and about like my eyes have been open, like
hands up, that's me too.
But I have loads of black friends, and like I absolutely love them. There's like but still, like, I've learned things, and I think everyone can still be educated, even if you like don't think you can learn more. You can always learn more. And with sharing things, I think with sharing things on social media, even that smallest thing is saying, do you know what, this like is helpful. Even if like, because sometimes like you feel a bit helpless. I don't know, like when like I feel a bit helpless in this time. But actually the smallest thing is a step forward. So for me personally, like I'm listening to more podcasts. I'm learning more about what people have shared, like just so I can gain more understanding. Because every little thing helps. And obviously, like, God made us all in His image, so God wants us to love each other unconditionally for exactly who we are.
Wow.
Because we're all, he made us all. So, yeah.
Spot on. And I think it's that. I think a lot of people have that heart check. Oh, okay, I need to do something right now. I need to research. I need to listen to podcasts, listen to preachers, listen to people, listen to you guys, and go, hang on, like, this is happening, and this is heartbreaking, and we can take those little steps forwards, because sometimes it feels like it's like, what can I do? It's just little old me. But actually together, as Damien was saying, like, we can come together with a strong voice, strong movement, and say, no, racism, this is not what we want. This is not what humanity is about. And I think it's super important. So spot on. And lastly, we've got Miracle. One Miracle.
Okay, so I haven't experienced, like, as you guys said, like the straight up. It's like the little subtle things, like when people just look at you, just like you're some alien or something. I used to get a train from. I used to live in Water Beach, and when I got on the train, I had like my natural hair out at that time, and then people just like look at you for longer than they're supposed to.
Word.
And I'm like, what do you want? And then it's like walking into the store, and the security guard is just there, just staring at you, thinking that you're gonna steal something. And then I also experienced colorism in year 7, and it was in year 7. I was in like a predominantly black school, and it was fine. But there were the little things that people would say, like, "Oh, you're blick," or "Oh, you're too dark," whatever. And it was just like, it just makes you think that the lighter you are, the better you are.
Wow.
Like, it just embedded that into my mind, like, oh, I should be like light skinned, so then I would be prettier, and stuff like that. It's just think, and also in schools where they would teach us about slavery, but that would be the only Black history that's being taught. That's like the only.
Word.
That's strong.
More to history than just slavery. Like that. We have Black queens, we have Black kings. It's just like,
you don't hear about it though. Mad.
Yeah. I think they should just teach more people about Black history in schools, and let's start from.
That's powerful, Miracle. Thank you for that honesty. And I think there's so much honesty in this. It is a room, really. Like, this is a conversation like we'd have on like a sofa or something. And I honestly want to thank you, everyone, for sharing what you shared. You've all lived different things, but I think there's some profound stuff in that, profound understanding and honesty with that. And I want to thank you for that honesty. And I fully believe that we've started something, and started a conversation. And I hope and I pray that people listen and learn from this, and want to learn more. Want to support each other and help each other out. So yeah, guys, just thank you so much for your time today for this episode. Go on, Wanye. Pray for us, man.
I'll shake my back. Hold up. All right, cool. Right. Lord, I thank you for today, Lord. I thank you for giving us this opportunity for all of us to be together and to understand that you made us as one.
Come on.
As it says, we need to be all one family. And I thank you for all of us realizing that and using that as a tool to educate others online and the gift of social media. I pray that more people that may be uneducated or that don't know as much about other races can be enriched with education and opportunities to help other races, so that we can live the way you intended us to live.
Amen. Love that. So important. I've realized it's still recording, so I'm going to press stop. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that this conversation of racism will stir your heart to continue it in your homes, in your workplaces, in your peer groups. I pray that as humanity would listen and learn, we would raise our voice against racism and what it stands for,
and the fact that it should not exist on this earth. If you would like to keep up to date with what's happening, why not follow our social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram? If you want to get involved in a life group, why not contact us at youth@c3.uk. And if you would like to keep up to date with what's coming up on YouTube, why not subscribe to us? We cannot wait to see you next week.